Hey, yo, what's going on? We got episode number 16 of Marvel Yap here today. We're going to be talking over the current meta health as well as the hugest, and I mean hugest, Series 4 and Series 5 tier list you guys have ever seen, including the new series dropped cards as well as December and January's cards, as well as we're going to be talking about some of the cards that have released recently, King Eitri, Gore, and Fenris Wolf. But let's go ahead and jump right into it. And as always, we are joined with the hostess with the mostest, notmydance. How are we doing today, Dance? How was your Thanksgiving, bro?
I'm excited. I'm doing well. Thanksgiving was awesome. Going over to my folks' place and my in-laws' place. Great times. Did not realize how much I'm actually just such a big fan of the sides. My wife makes a killer pasta salad. I pride myself on my mashed potatoes, and I don't know, just I love those so much. And I'm kind of just thinking about all the rest of the sides. Like the green bean casserole is better than it deserves to be. Who doesn't just love a roll? I don't know. It's just so good. I love all the food. I'm stoked about it in general. It's a fun time. And what was it? Saturday, my wife and I are going to be setting up like actual Christmas decorations around the house. So my sweaters I've been wearing are finally going to actually fit the theme, which I'll say this is, I think, one of my ugliest ones so far. It's a very ugly one, but I love it. It's got Rogue on the arm too. It's like meant to be off the 97 show. Yeah. So it's a gorgeous one.
You guys haven't already set up for Christmas?
No, I've asked her to pull back on it because I typically don't like to set up until, again, right after Thanksgiving is typically when I do that. I don't know. Do you do it beforehand or after?
So Amber loves to try and set up before Thanksgiving. This year at our house here, we haven't set up entirely before Thanksgiving. We actually have awesome Thanksgiving decorations around the house. But my mom has already started to set up for Christmas and everything. And it's just like a typical thing in my family, even though Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday. And I like to get through Thanksgiving before setting up for Christmas myself, just because, I don't know, there's not a whole lot of decorating you do for Thanksgiving, you know, but like, I like to cherish that holiday so much because I'm just a huge foodie and I just love eating food. I think that's the main reason why I just love Thanksgiving. But I'm interested to see how this one goes. We got a special Thanksgiving this year. I haven't told anyone yet, but this Thanksgiving we're gonna have some interesting new dietary restrictions for some people. So we have some people that are gluten-free, some people that are lactose-free. So it's gonna be interesting to see the dishes that are brought onto the table. Someone was telling me we weren't gonna be doing a turkey and that we were gonna be doing completely gluten-free, dairy-free mac and cheese, and I almost threw a fit. So I decided that I'm going to make the mac and cheese and I'm going to make the potatoes. And then Amber's mom is doing the turkey. So we're going to be okay.
Okay, yeah. No, that makes sense. And then obviously we got the brand new food fight variant which again, what is it? Got the hair, the muscles, looks just like you. It's some other aspects, maybe not the exact same, but it's pretty close.
Bro, to be a She-Hulk would be a dream, right? It would totally be a dream. How are you feeling about these variants, though? I think I really like that they're all affordable and they're all like really good.
Yeah, the variants are sick as hell. Like, I don't think the only like higher series card we have, it's X-23, Goliath, and Nebula, right? Who are the higher series cards that are in there. And I like all these as well. They're a lot of fun. They're just cute. There's nothing bad with them. They're just fun, and I think that's one of the best things you can say about it. So I definitely like these as well. It also, because they are all symmetrical variant, because I have all other symmetrical variants, I can just open Collector's Reserve to get all of those, which is fun. But that's also it's also a cool little, like, I don't even know if it's like a treat for people, but it's nice to have some of the free albums and to compare with the majority of the albums, which are mainly just whale hunting.
Yes.
So I like that aspect definitely a lot there, which is going to be pretty good. Speaking of pretty good, what are our topics for today?
So what we got going on today is we got the health of the meta currently. Of course, this is week 2, I think, or week post OTA. I think we had OTA. It wasn't last week, but it was the week prior. So it's week 2 post that of the 4 weeks without any patch or OTA. We're also going to be making a huge Series 4, Series 5 tier list, including the new cards from December and for January. These are going to be predictions for those cards, as well as talking about series drops with that context as well. And then we're also going to be going over the recent cards that have come out. We're going to talk about King Eitri, and we're going to talk about Gore and then maybe we'll talk a little bit about how Fenris did, because we didn't really get to talk too much about Fenris.
Yeah, and especially with Gore, this is only a couple of days after Gore has come out, so a lot of stuff speculative. It's real. Gore's gonna be an interesting card to actually break down fully, but I don't know. What do you feel about the meta health in general? How is the game, the meta feeling for you?
So I'm still seeing so much Airshim Thanos, and it literally is the bane of my existence just facing Airshim. But I would say that the meta is very open. I feel like you can play pretty much whatever you would like right now, and you have opportunities to win. It's just, maximizing your cubes and minimizing your losses. So, like, that's definitely just something that I'm looking at right now. It is still, like, it totally feels bad playing Airshim, or playing against Airshim. But I really do think, like, any deck has an opportunity to win right now, which means the meta's in a healthy spot, maybe a boring spot for some people. Because we have so much other stuff, happening at the same time. But it's the holiday season anyways. I feel like some of the fall off is just as is.
Yeah, definitely. And I think I don't even mind the fact, honestly, I'm getting to a point where I don't know, Airshim, the biggest problem with Airshim obviously is the fact that, like, I heard this said by someone else, you can play the game exactly right, but you could still lose because you can't plan for every single card in the game. However, I don't know, I'm not even as mad about Airshim right now. It's got middling stats, at least. Yes, it's being played a lot, but like you said, it's so open for a lot of other stuff. Like even the current meta, even the current like season pass card, Surtur is being played. Discard and Destroy are some of the top decks out there as well, right? I don't know. In general, it feels pretty good, and the biggest thing for me has been Deadpool's Diner, and it's just that thing from like 600k to unlocking King Mitri.
Yeah.
Because I kind of slowed it down. Like, I remember last Deadpool's Diner, I played it super fast, super aggressive, did it all like same day, grinded it out. And for this one, I really slowed it down. I just chilled out, had a good time with it. And it's definitely been, it's been more enjoyable in some ways because I'm not stressing it. But then in other ways, it's been like, all right, this is my, let's see how many bubs I can get today. And my very first game, I just get, I don't know, like randomly something hits me, it feels like. And I was like, well, that's it. And the regenerating bubs, I don't think ever feels great. But it is meant to be that, it's the closest thing that Snap has had to like a energy system that I've seen a lot of other games have in the past. I don't know. Deadpool's Diner's been fun, but it's also been tiring. What's your thoughts been on it?
Is it weird that I think Deadpool's Diner is more grindy this time around than last time? Like, I feel like it's the exact same, but
I think part of it was the fact that like the bots got removed. Because like I said, like I felt like I could grind before and then just like get bots for free pretty much. And then they've said that they removed bots from a certain plate upwards, and then they had to fix it because it was like making super long queue times for people who were like trying to buy stuff, so they had to fix that up. And I think it feels better again now, but again, that initial grind does, I think, still feel very rough, very difficult, very, I guess taxing is a good word. Yeah, I don't know, but in general, like even other than Deadpool's Diner, the decks that I'm seeing inside Deadpool's Diner, it is feeling very diverse.
yes.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, it's definitely like a meta. There's a lot of tech-heavy decks right now, but it doesn't feel like everyone's playing tech-heavy stuff. It's like people are still playing a big bunch of Power Slam. People are still playing a lot of Discard. There's Airshim, like I said, that's just completely random. But it literally feels like you kind of have to have an option for like 3 different decks going into each match, because you're like, okay, well, if they play this, I have this. If they have that, I have that. So it's like having those tech cards to kind of do stuff. So like that's why we're seeing a lot of Red Guardian. That's why we're seeing a lot of Shadow King. Honestly, still not seeing a whole bunch of Shang-Chi. I think it's still more Red Guardian, Shadow King, and then Goon Knight. We're seeing a lot of Goon Knight right now. The whole Moon Knight, freaking Fenris Wolf, Darkhawk shenanigans, which is very interesting. But I'm very excited to see, what happens coming, later this year. Hopefully we get some changes. Like the series drop changes, I think were just not it, man.
Yeah, the series drops were interesting. I don't know. What was it? Do you just want to move straight over to the Series 4, Series 5 tier list? Because I feel like that is going to be the thing that's going to take the most amount of time today.
All right, and now we have our Series 4 and Series 5 tier list. We have a section here for Series 3 because we're also going to include the cards that drop down to Series 3 with the series drops. They're not going to be included on the tier list, but they are on this list because this is not updated yet because those cards have not dropped just yet because the patch hasn't come out just yet. But this is going to be in alphabetical order until we get to the August season. Then we'll go through August season in order, September season order, October, November, December. But these are just all the cards we have in the game currently. Starting off with number 1 is going to be Ajax. What are you thinking about Ajax over here?
I want to say sorry, I know we're going to be taking a while on this anyway, but how do we want to define each category? Because I even wonder if just saying the best is S, like second best is A, because I'm trying to think of like, okay, if I'm a new player trying to figure out where I'm spending my tokens on, like, how do we want to classify these? Because like S is just like maybe the best cards that you should be having in your collection pretty much no matter what. Maybe the A is like the unique cards that are archetype defining or whatever. I don't know. How do you want to do this? Like it's kind of up to you because I feel like there's a lot of different ways we could specify these cards, and if we just want to go with like who is strictly better than another, that's another thing. How do you want to do with this?
I think when we're going S, I think we're going meta archetype defining cards are S tier. I think A tier are cards that are really good in the meta or in good decks, and are cards you should have. S is must-haves for sure. B is going to be good, about like it's good, it can be flexible. C is going to be about average. D is this card is very meh. It may be just super niche or it's okay. F is a card that needs a complete rework and it's just really bad. And then Series 3 is Series 3.
Wow, that last category is going to be really confusing, but I'll hope to try to understand that. But okay, cool. Well, it's good to have like some sort of a baseline as we move into this. But then Ajax, is he just going to be A then, I think? Because I don't think he's a must-buy. I don't think you need to get him. But he's definitely, again, he is an archetype-defining card that I just don't believe is you have to get this card.
Yeah, I think Ajax is probably top of A.
He's gonna be close to, if not the top.
And also, fair warning, some of the stats on these cards, like they're old cost, old power, but we're going still on current way it is in the meta right now.
Yeah. They're super small anyway. You can't really see that. But yeah, I think that A for Ajax is definitely completely fair. Is Eliath also there as well? I don't know if he's S.
I think Eliath is more of a must-have than Ajax, but I could see us just putting him in A, top of A for the moment.
Yeah, again, I'm fine with it like swapping between the two, but like I definitely don't know if depending on what we have in S tier.
Yes.
I don't know if he should go in there.
Because we'll be tweaking this at the very end.
Yeah, definitely. What are you thinking about Nihilus? Nihilus is again another archetype defining card, but not great.
I think Nihilus right now is B tier.
I agree with the B tier.
Low end fringe B tier.
Yeah, again, it's another archetype defining card, but it is not it's not definitively the best of that archetype, and if you want to play the archetype, it's a great card for it. Otherwise, it's kind of easily skippable. Erishim, as much as I don't want to say it, it is probably an S tier card.
Erishim is definitely S tier for deck building, archetype defining, and what it does, like the value it adds, and like if we're trying to waiver like cards you should have and you should like must have, is Erishim's one of those cards.
Yeah. And again, it's like, I think Erishim is it also works pretty well for newer players.
Yes.
You can kind of just put a lot of tech cards in that list and then put Erishim, and it's just a deck that works. So that's fine. Baron Zemo. How do you feel?
I think he's C, borderline D.
I know you like the card, so I was hoping, I didn't want to argue with you there, but I do agree with that 100%. Yep. I think it's definitely not that great. And unfortunately, if we're going to talk about D, I do think Beta Ray Bill is going to be there.
And it's like, even though King Eitri just got added to the game, it's still like the Asgard Hammers deck, when it goes off really well and it gets big.
Yes.
But
it's just not great.
Yeah.
It really just isn't, unfortunately. And I think is Black Knight just right there with it?
Black Knight is going to be there in D tier because if the blade also was not Shadow Kingable, I think it goes to more of a B and A, but it's just not as relevant right now.
Yeah, and again, I don't even know if it's like, I want to make it very clear with both of those cards. I don't even know if I like the fact that they are like what is it, like just straight up in D tier over there and saying that they need a buff. But again, if we're talking about, I'm also trying to think of like maybe this is also in another way. It's also like this is the card you should have these top cards are the ones you should have the most reason to buy. And as we get lower and lower, there's less and less reason to buy those. And I definitely think I like Black Knight and Beta Ray build there, especially for that bet.
And Beta Ray build
unless
now
of course
is a
you really
Series
like
4
that
card as well.
True, yeah. So, do we want to talk about those series drops in general? I know we can kind of gloss over them a little bit during this.
Yes.
Very middling.
Like, there were a couple cards that were good changes. I have them pulled up over here. X23, I think, is a good change to Series 4. I think Pixie I like to Series 4. I like Iron Lad to Series 4 and Sasquatch to Series 4. Some of the other cards feel like they should have just either been released at Series 4. Maybe even Pixie should have been released at Series 4, honestly, to where they are now. And then to Series 3, it's why G Gray took this long to be a Series 3 card. Kitty Pryde took this long to be a Series 3 card. And Snowguard took this long to be a Series 3 card. It's just like cards that should have been dropped already are now dropping. And it was to the point where they're like, oh, people are actually upset about this. Let's also say we're going to have another series drop in the future to see if we can put a Band-Aid on this because card acquisition is just horrible in this game.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We've heard the same thing a bunch of times now that they're working on card acquisition. We'll have to see whatever that looks like because we're still waiting. And forgive me, I'm overtly hopeful there. But X23 also took over a year to drop from Series 5 to Series 4. But I will say, at least making, I think, one of the best destroy cards a lower series option is absolutely great there. I think X23 being dropped to Series 4 is a great thing. That was the one I was most surprised by and didn't expect.
Yeah, that's one we're like, no, X23 is never going to drop. X23
yeah, I think we said that.
Series 5. Yep.
Yeah, because she's just so good for destroy, but they actually dropped her, and I'm pleasantly surprised. Yeah, I don't know. And pleasantly surprised about probably just that one. Everything else, I don't think it's enough. But until they do more, we're just gonna have to wait and see. But anyway, Black Swan.
So hear me
is
out.
she just?
Black Swan is low B tier.
I'm still listening. You're gonna need to keep talking.
So like I'm thinking instead of like Zemo, of course, we're like thinking for real is C tier, but like what Black Swan adds to her deck as opposed to what Zemo adds to his decks. Like I'm thinking of just bounce. I'm thinking potentially Thanos. I'm thinking She-Hulk Slam. Like I'm thinking even Husky's little War Machine list too. Like I think the Black Swan value to be able to make your 1-drops cost 0 and be able to play them wherever pretty much is really solid. It helps you also get into some of these locations you're not able to normally get into anyways with your lower cost cards. It's better for your hit monkey to help his value increase. I think she could be top C tier or borderline bottom B tier. I'm cool with putting her in C tier for now, but I don't think she's end C tier at all.
I'm willing to accept a C tier there because I was thinking C or D, but I definitely think that that Black Swan in general isn't the craziest card. I don't know. It's good, but I'm also I don't know. I just don't think it's needed more so than Zemo. But okay, Blink.
Blink, I think, also would fall into that C tier category.
Yeah, I think Blink is probably the top of C tier right there. I think she's just she's not a card you're not going to be upset with getting, but it's just like not really crazy good.
Yeah.
Okay. What you got with Blob?
So I want to put Blob in top A tier. I think S tier would have been different if he was played a lot more than he is now. But like the main instances you're seeing Blob are just Airsham and in Thanos. You're not seeing him even in the Surtur Scar stuff. So I think he's a good, A tier card, kind of like with the Ajax and Alioth. He kind of just fits that mold.
I think Ajax. I think he's the bottom of A tier act though.
Okay.
I think Ajax is better than him. Alioth is better than him.
Okay.
Is that fair, do you think?
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Okay, cool. Kyera's a good card. I think she's bottom B. I don't think she's bad. But like she protects all of your 6-cost cards. All like that's good for Zoo. It's good for what is it? It's good for decks that you're wanting to put really big cards in, with like Wave and Galactus and stuff. I don't know. She just offers a lot of utility that she can't. Armor doesn't do what she does. Not in the same way.
But she's not B tier.
What are you saying? Where are you thinking she is then?
She's C tier. She is not B tier. She is not meta relevant as well. You play her in Zoo.
I'm playing her in Thanos right now.
Thanos, Zoo.
And hear me out. She had a really cool looking bundle.
No, she's C tier. I'm sorry.
That's fine. If she's above Black Swan, I'll accept that. Yeah, that's fine. I'll accept above Black Swan, but I definitely think between those two, Kyra is better than Black Swan. But Cannonball? Do you really disagree that even with that? Do you think she should be lower?
Better than Black Swan. But I'll let you have this one. But I think Black Swan's better than Kyra.
All right. You get to give me later on. There's a lot of these, so we won't take too long. Cannonball.
Cannonball is C tier. He would be A tier if he still works with Professor X.
Behind Zemo, I think.
He's above Zemo.
You think he's above Zemo? Okay. That's fair. Cass is just she's either again really. You think she's B? I'm thinking of a current meta right now, and I think she's very good against all the Erisham. So maybe I'm thinking of her higher. I don't mind her at B then. Honestly, I think she is
either top B or fringe A. We'll be like I'm telling you guys, we're gonna be readjusting this. But this is just a start.
Well, I like top B. All right. You're higher on Copycat than I am.
But Copycat now is only C tier. Because it doesn't steal the ability forever, like your opponent still can use the ability if they draw the card. You
also still know what the bottom card of their deck is, so it's not bad there.
Yeah.
Because again, there's also a good chance they don't draw that card. I'm not a big fan of Copycat, so yeah, as long as she's. Oh, you put her above Kyra. All right, we'll talk later. It's fine.
I'm also just looking 3/5 stats too.
Yeah, it's fair. I still the amount of times I've had just someone try to Shang-Chi my big card, and then I just drop a Kyra into another lane, and it just is completely.
You can just count that on your fingers, right? The amount of times that's happened.
I've been playing a lot of Thanos recently, and I'll tell you, it's happened very often.
You know what also protects your Thanos from getting Shang-Chi?
Armor, Cosmo, Soulstone.
Yeah, Soulstone by itself, 1 cost. Can also do the same thing.
True, and if you know what? Oh my gosh, what if my Soulstone gets destroyed? Don't worry, I've got Kyra.
No, you just play Soulstone on the final turn with Thanos, because Thanos is 5 cost at that point because of Time Stone.
Do you just Soulstone? No, you want to draw with Soulstone more though. Anyway, this is besides the point entirely. Corvus Glaive, is he D tier? I don't think.
Yeah,
I don't even
D tier.
I don't even like. I don't think he's bad. I don't think he's bad.
No.
I'm saying that with D. I'm saying that with D tier. I don't think the D tier is really that bad from what we currently have. Maybe there's like another like a triple F tier if we need it, but I don't think the D tier is that bad of cards. Again, these are fine cards. They're just not crazy meta relevant.
Yeah.
D. Yeah. Cole Obsidian, is that just bottom B? I think he's better than or worse than Nihilus. Sorry, worse than Nihilus definitely.
Bottom.
Although there's Surtur stuff going around right now, so maybe he's better for that stuff. But I think, yeah, I could see it either way. Honestly, what do you think?
I think he's better than a Nihilus, but he's not better than Cassandra Nova.
That's fair. I'll take that. Dakin is either top of F or bottom of. Oh, is he dropping? He's not dropping to Series 3.
No. He's either. I mean.
Again, that's part of the reason why I was about to say.
Do well with the one of the new cards coming out in January, but I think he's just bad.
Yeah, I don't want to agree with you, but I do agree. Yeah, there's some fun stuff people can try to do with him, but it's definitely just not a great one. Yeah. Dark Hawk. Is he just bottom S? Potential. I don't even. Is he just bottom S right there, or is he top of A? Because he's
top of A.
Because it's just a good deck. It's a great deck. I think the Odd Hawk decks have been some of the best performing decks I've seen in a bit. Like you're talking about with Moon Knight and what is it? And being able to use. We'll get to Proxima in a bit because Proxima is definitely another really great card there. I just think that those lists are very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Elsa. What are you thinking about Elsa?
So, Elsa is either bottom of C tier or top of D tier.
I can go top of D tier.
I know you enjoy Elsa because you're like, yeah, Elsa. We were talking about this the other day, and I was like, oh, are you sure?
Yeah. I wish I could enjoy her more. It's the same reason why I'm not arguing with Dakin being low right there, but I also am upset by it.
Yeah.
But hot take, Galactus is in D tier.
No, I don't think that's a hot take. I think that's a fair take.
I don't know. I think Elsa's better than Galactus, I would say. Galactus is just not a good archetype.
And it's predictable. More predictable than the Elsa stuff. Okay.
Exactly. I think, Elsa gives you a lot more minutia. Maybe Galacta changes the way that Galactus is going to work, but honestly, it's also going to work really well with Elsa. And I think she's going to work better with Elsa than with Galactus.
Yeah, Sherry Kitty is going to be... I
yeah.
wait.
Oh, it's going to be a blast, yeah. No, we haven't talked about those cards at all yet, so it's going to be fun. Ghost Spider, I think, is B, honestly.
Yeah, I think what she does, she's flexible. You don't use her in just one archetype and everything, too. I think maybe...
Better than an Nihilus?
Yeah, I can put her above an Nihilus.
Because I think Cold Obsidian is just... It's better. She's worse, like, not as used as much as Cold Obsidian is, but Ghost Spider is just a very...
Actually, I would put her above Cole.
You want to go above? I won't argue. I think Move is a deck that a lot of people get a lot of cards for very early on, and then we're going to see some other move cards that are later on inside of this, and those move cards do so much. But like, we can keep going here with Gilgamesh.
He does what he does really well in Zoo. Like, he just fits the mold there.
Yeah, and I was going to argue with it for a second, but Gilgamesh is doing better there. I think Cold Obsidian is definitely better. Because it's also used more, and people are even using Cold Obsidian inside of Zoo.
Yes. So
I definitely like that. Gladiator is... I think he's pretty good. He's better than a Nihilus, I think.
And it's like, even with the Surtur stuff going on right now, you still are getting some really good Gladiator value because of US Agent tech, and because it's not, you're placing Hela, so it's not a lot of like 6-drops right now. So the Gladiator value is really good.
No, I definitely like Gladiator a lot, just as a card in general. Grandmaster is... Yeah.
He's actually decent right now. Like, actually.
Yeah, he's a fine card. I just don't think he's nothing to write home about. He's just he does what he does. It tells you on the box with the card what it does. And Gwenpool, I like Gwenpool a lot here as well. Yeah. No, Gwenpool feels... Yeah, I like... she's a good card. I don't think I disagree with this logic.
The unknown factor you get with Gwenpool, that your opponent has to account what cards got hit, because you literally don't know what it is to one card get hit 3 times, 2 times, 1 time, how many cards got hit. Like, that value, and it's pretty flexible. It doesn't just fit into one single archetype. I think it's really solid.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. The lowest card, I think, this is just the worst one that we've talked about.
Do you think Havoc's F?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
I just don't... I think this is the worst card currently that we've talked... Like, the worst card out of all these right now.
Okay. I think that's fair.
Yeah. Hercules. Is that also an F? Is he better than Dakin? Oh, you're probably
He's
right.
better than Dakin because of the whole move value it gets, opposed to, like, you have to do way more with Dakin stuff. You lose energy with Havoc things. It just, yeah.
Yeah, you're right. High Evolutionary, I will say with this, he's going to be inside of a Spotlight cache, and I actually have a buddy who is just now like getting into the game, and based off the data mine for that cache, it has Bruce Banner, Ravonna, and High Evolutionary, I think, in it. And I told him he needs to be saving keys for that week.
Yes.
So we can guarantee all 3 cards, because High Evolutionary, while it's, again, not one of the best cards, I definitely think if, as a new player, again, as part of the logic with this as well, it's so good. I think it's better. I think High Evolutionary, again, just in terms of accessibility as well, I was going to put it right after Nova. I don't mind if it's before. It's a really good card.
Yeah, with this rating here, we're thinking of what it adds to the game, and like when it comes to deck building and everything as well. I don't think High Evo right at this moment is better than Cassandra Nova, but if I also put into the factors of having this in your, collection, that puts it over Cass because of what it allows you to do and so many different more things you can do with that. And you play Cassandra Nova into your High Evo list to get, Abomination and Ajax value.
Yeah, no, 100%. I agree with that. I think it's a really good just place for High Evolutionary to exist. Hitmonkey, is this... You're going to put it in B. I was actually going to put it lower. That's fair.
I love Hitmonkey, and like what Hitmonkey does for
too.
bounce is incredible, but it's not at the point where bounce is still really good, but I don't think Hitmonkey goes up with the Blob, the Ajax, and the Elias just yet.
Yeah. No, I think... Yeah, you're probably right there. Yeah, you're probably right. This is gonna get a large tier. So we're gonna have to keep. You're gonna see the overall like tier list keep shrinking in size as we talk about these because it's gonna be a problem with how many. Anyway, Hope Summers, is that just another? I feel like that's just another maybe C or B. I feel like it's top of C, honestly.
I think the value you get with just having extra energy overrides a lot of what happens in C tier. I would probably put it right below Gilgamesh, better than Gladiator, better than Annihilus. Just that whole factor, being able to play out your combo and ramp more. Your only downside with this ramp is you have to play onto Hope Summers. And that really is just really solid, especially if you look at the lists she's running. Kitty Pride goes onto Hope Summers and then comes back into your hand. You can play cards onto it, play Goblins, play Acid Arrows onto Hope Summers to get that ramp out. And then just profit. I think this just really adds a whole lot of value. So I think she is still a B tier card.
Okay. I can argue. I can agree with that. Also, if I'm looking at, again, the value of these cards as well, I think it's closer to that. Hydra Bob. Now, I know he's currently really good. I do not think this is a card people should be buying.
No. But
I think this is top of C tier. No, I think it's top of C right now. Again, I think it's good. It's very good for what it does right now. But I'm willing to bet that Second Dinner will bring it down to a much more balanced place for a one-cost card. Or even maybe, I've said it before, I think they should increase the cost and power by one for each, and it's probably a lot closer to being balanced. But I think Hydra Bob is just slightly... It's giving you too much, and yes, it's good right now. Yes, it's probably worth it right now. But again, long-term, if you spend your keys, your resources on this... I think you're going to be upset whenever it gets nerfed, because I do believe it will.
With that reasoning, I agree. I do think it's like one of the top 3 1-drops in the game at the moment.
Yeah, no, I think it's the best 1-drop in the game, next to Nico, which we haven't talked about yet. But I think it's just. But again, I'm trying to plan around future stuff and just how good the card is overall.
Yeah.
Speaking of planning around future stuff, Iron Lad. That's a card that honestly, like at one point was like. Really insane. People were calling for nerfs for, and it slowly kind of just like faded back into the background.
It used to be really, really good because, the unknown factor was incredible. You had so many awesome hits, but it just got crept by all these other cards that can just do what Iron Lad does, or not necessarily do what Iron Lad does. I mean, you have Anti-Venom, which I guess is just even
Anti-Venom's
better.
a really great card. Yeah.
But I think this is.
And they buffed that like a week before it came out.
Yeah. They said this card's not going to perform the way it is. So we're going to go ahead and give it a 1 power buff, which is like, well, thank you.
I think Iron Lad is very close to Copycat. I think they're doing similar things, and they are, I think, very similar in the power level, I would argue. Okay. I'm fine. As long as it's close to Copycat, I think I'm chill with wherever you want to put it.
And I think I'm going to put Grandmaster above Copycat. Or not Grandmaster, Cannonball above Copycat.
Okay, fair enough. Kyra is Kyra slander, but whatever. First of the cards dropping to Series 3 okay.
Jean Grey, woohoo! Yeah, we're all so excited for Jean Grey. I really hope you guys did not buy that $100 Jean Grey bundle. I really, really hope you guys did. I'm very sorry if you did.
Yeah, there's a lot of those bundles. Jeff, the baby land shark, he's adorable. We love him. He again used to be really insane, and people were saying like he should get nerfed, and I probably was one of those as well. But nowadays, I think he's just, I don't know, is he just, yeah, he's somewhere, and I think he's in B.
I think he's in B. I think what he does is still really solid, allowing you to get into some of these locations and stuff. But like, Jeff was at his peak when Professor X didn't allow cards to move into him.
Yep.
And now he's still good, but it's just not the same.
Yeah, I actually would argue Cole is more it offers more value, I think, than Jeff, but I think that's a minutia. It's yeah. Now this is the bottom of the bottom with Kang. He's eventually going to get a rework, and then whenever that happens, he's going to feel great, and we're going to love it.
Maybe someday. You know, will we be alive for that day? Will Snap be alive for that day? Who knows?
It'll be. God, I try to be positive, but pardon the joke. But it'll be coming out as soon as they approve card acquisition. Kitty Pryde's going to Series 3.
Yep. The best card that got added to Series 3, if we're going to rank Series 3 cards.
It is, yeah. And thankfully, Null is a Series 4 locked card.
Forever. Just like Darkhawk. Both of them are going to be permanent Series 4 cards.
Yeah. Honestly, I think this is bottom of A, though.
Yeah, I like it.
Again, destroys a very easy deck for people to jump into. It's a very solid deck in general. And Null just offer. Actually, it's better than Blob, isn't it? What would you? Do you disagree? What are you thinking?
I think it's better than Blob for what it does. And if we're looking at looking at cards right now that are like more must-haves, what it does for Destroy, I think is more important than what Blob does for Airshim. Because you just get a free Blob anyways in Airshim, but.
Lady Deathstrike.
I love Lady Deathstrike, but she is C tier.
Yep, I'd agree with that. I think she is. Yeah, I like that logic. I think that's a good place for her. Actually, I think she's more. I'd put her again, Kyra Slander. I'd put her closer to Copycat and Iron Lad. Yeah. I think she's she does her job well. She does. Again, it's similar to like you get what you get when you play this card, and it does it well.
Yes.
Now this is going to be one that I could easily see us disagreeing with. I say Legion should be bottom of A tier. I think Legion is. I think locational control cards are continually underrated in Marvel Snap, and I think Legion is one of the best. If not, Legion is the best of those cards, in my opinion.
But if we're going on the premise of must-haves, I don't think he fits the A category of must-haves. I like him in B or high B, and I do agree, like, the location control is incredible. You know how good Legion Scam was. You know how good it is in Airshim. But I don't see him at the same caliber as, like, a Null, a Blob, or some more of these cards that we're going to have in A tier. But I could see him towards the top of B tier.
I was going to say right above Hitmonkey feels like, honestly, I think where he should be. Because I don't think Ghost Spider is going to be more useful than him. Okay. If you want to argue the Hitmonkey bit, I'm fine with that. But I think if we're going to specifically Ghost Spider there, again, Hitmonkey's good. But I think there's a lot of other series expensive cards that you need for that list. And I think Legion is just a good card that you can put in a lot of lists.
Yeah, and Legion's not going to stay third over here. We're going to have more cards get up front of Legion. But
yeah. Loki, again, people are running him in Airshim, but I think when I see an Airshim play Loki on turn 1 with me, I snap. Because, for one, I don't play a lot of very meta decks, and my decks are often jank as hell, but Loki players hate that. So, I feel like this is, I don't even think it's top of C. I don't think it's that good. I think Blink's a better card than that.
I think Loki is better than Bob, Blink, better than all the other cards in C, because you're also, even if you're not getting, the exact combo your opponent has, like, depending on when you play that, I lost to a Loki yesterday that wasn't even an Airshim, but it's just that they're able to play your cards for cheaper still, and then also still have the cards in your hand. Like, you get that value, and I think especially with Airshim and Loki and stuff, that really, you're able to play your opponent's cards, and you also have the extra energy on top of that, so it feels bad. Not necessarily going to win every game, like you're saying. But I think the Loki value is still just better than Bob and Blink, and I think it could be maybe an apple to oranges, like Loki Conquest is better than Loki Ladder.
Yeah, I think it's in C tier. I think it's lower, but I don't think it's gonna be. I think it's still fine. I think it's just gonna be fine in C tier in general. So I won't argue too much the exact placement here. Makari runs onto the board at the bottom of Series 3, or bottom of C.
Yep.
Yep, I disagree. She just does again does what it does. Cool.
Yep. Just does what it does. You're like, okay, well, she's on the board.
Yep.
I don't have to play her. All right.
I will say immediately trying to dethrone Loki. I kind of think Man Thing should be top of C.
I like
or bottom of B. It's one of those two. But
I like him bottom B over top of C.
Yeah, Man Thing's a really good card, but again, it's very narrow to the list. If you're trying to do an Ajax list, you're trying to do a high evolutionary list, maybe combinations of both. It really is good for those styles of lists, but otherwise, it's.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
I think that's the right spot for it.
Is Meek, as much as I don't like it again, I think Meek is top of D.
Meek is top of D because Scorn is just way better.
Yeah. If we're talking about value for 1-drops, like if I've wanted a third 1-drop in my deck before with in discard, I used to run Meek, but at this point I've been playing X23, honestly. Because I get the extra energy immediately, right? And that's just it gives me immediately better value, and I'm not getting screwed over by Killmongers and Shadow Kings. It just gives less options there. So
I think again, X23 in discard is a crazy hot take, but
listen. I'm consistently cooking. I'm on something else. I don't know. God, we have Mobius. Mobius is a good card. I think it's just a consistently good card. I don't think it's ever going to be bad. I think, yeah, top of C is fine.
Yeah, and this isn't like saying it's bad by any means for being C tier. It's just like we're looking at everything else.
Yeah. Again, there's going to be a lot of places where like the cards. Yeah, you'll see this as more and more as we go through these, right? And we'll try to again. You're going to try to do a full breakdown closer to the end for all y'all audio listeners, but it's going to be I think Mobius is much closer to C tier just due to what he can do. Mockingbird, I think, I think she's slightly worse now, but I do think that she is like again I think she is an A tier.
Easily.
Better. I don't argue with. I kind of question the Ajax a little more now, especially for newer players. I feel like I want to swap Ajax and Null, and I'll be happy with A tier for what it's worth.
I think the Ajax swing is better than the Null swing.
Yeah, that's fair. What is it? It's just there's a lot of cards that I feel like Ajax would like to have, and a lot of those are very expensive, which is my logic for trying to put it lower. But
we're still
also
ranking on skill-wise and like how good the card is.
There's so many different scales that we're trying to rank this all on. So there's so much nuance being lost in this list, but it's still a fun list to make. Again, speaking of A tier, I think MODOK's at the bottom of A tier actually.
I don't put MODOK above a majority of his cards in B tier. I think you still put him in B tier. I don't think he's an A tier card. What he does is amazing, and it's so good for discard. But
that's cool.
I don't know.
That's interesting. You can pin the images, whatever. It doesn't matter. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, okay. I won't complain about MODOK being it better. I think it should be high B tier, honestly. But because again, if I'm talking about the enabling of it, it helps a full archetype. There's a while that discard was full random, and then MODOK entered the scene, and it was just like, oh wait, this actually just gets rid of everything in my hand. That's so amazing. So I think MODOK's really good for that. Who's this? Miss Marvel. She's D tier. She's not C. She is good. Is she better? I don't know if the D tier I question the order of actually. Now I'm looking at it more, but she's D. I think she's good, but she isn't great. I'm not arguing. Actually, I think Blade Array Bill's worse than Galactus. Probably Corvus too, honestly. I think Corvus. Black Knight's there. Yeah. I like that. I think Meeks actually goes to behind Galactus.
No.
No? It's definitely not above Miss Marvel, I don't think. But yeah, I like that better. Okay. Yeah, Miss Marvel, again, she's fine. It's just, I don't know, it's just not super crazy again.
Yeah.
And I think Nomura's just good. I don't think she's bottom of C. She's not she's putting her at the, like, I think she's, yeah. Again, I was gonna say worse than Baron Zemo felt crazy to me, but I like that. Yeah.
She's good for what she does. She's a little bit predictable, but like if you can move the cards that Namora hits, I think you get the extra value there.
Yeah. No, you can get a lot of value. Nebula is actually, I think this is one of the best cards to go for. This is just, it's such an easy card to put inside of most lists that just controls where your opponent plays cards.
I think she's still B tier, but I put her above Annihilus.
I might argue even higher, but I won't push it. I think it's fair. I think High Evolutionary should go to A tier, bottom of A. If I'm looking at the rest of this list, I think High Evolutionary is a better card than, like, if I'm even just the jump from High Evolutionary to Cassandra Nova feels like a big enough step that I feel like that's a different level entirely.
I like it.
This is the #1 card, I think. I can see, by the way, I can literally just see part of the base art, and I know which card it is, and that's says something about how much I play this damn
Nico
game.
is 100% a must-have.
Yeah, in my opinion, and I think I will probably push for her staying at the very top of S tier. She is one of the best cards to get because it's not going to unlock something new. It's not going to do something crazy, but she is one of the most versatile cards that you will see inside, and people will put inside of a variety of decks. That is irreplaceable. If you don't have her, the best replacement is 6,000 collector's tokens. Spend it. Hot take, but I stand by it.
Okay, that's a valid way to think of it.
Yeah. I think Baron Zemo and Makari should go down to D tier in the same spot, and then we put Nimrod right at the bottom of D.
Nimrod at the bottom of D?
Or sorry, top of D.
Okay, I like Nimrod more than those two. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think that's just bringing all those down. Again, trying to keep it maybe somewhat more even in terms there, but there's just going to be like it's a bell curve, right? The thing where like it's rounded towards the middle. I think it's that.
Yes.
Yeah. So I feel like there's going to be a bit of that here, but it's definitely, I like this logic. I can't even see the art. Who is this? Nocturne. Nocturne's a really good card because, again, location control, but again, she isn't used as much anymore. I think she's going to be used more with Galacta, but I think probably putting her, I'd say above Cannonball, and I'm fine with her, I think. Yeah, she's just right there. Yeah. I love playing Festus list, but I don't think he's a good card. Or Festus. I always say Festus because it's like Hephaestus, but what do you say? I'll trust you on him.
I say Fastos, but I'm probably wrong.
I meant in terms of the tiers, but that works as well.
Oh, D tier, above Galactus.
Yeah. Yeah, above Galactus and D tier. Okay, that's fair. I think, yeah, for what it's worth, if I had full control, I'd probably say bottom of C tier. But I like Phoenix Force at top of C tier. I think that tracks.
It's not B or A tier. Like, think of skill cap, think of meta stuff. Like, I love.
Yeah, there's so much stuff there. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of stuff there. Pixie, again, it's kind of irreplaceable. I think this is, yeah, I guess, is it better than? I think I like it. Yeah, slightly more than Grandmaster. Yeah, I like it there. I think it's right at the very bottom of C tier with only Grandmaster being below it. I like that logic. Yeah. This is an A tier card in my opinion. I know, like, just in terms of, again, discard value, it just does something for discard that no other deck does or no other card can do, especially considering she jumps to the lowest power location. She's just great.
I don't think she's necessarily A tier yet, but I do think she is B tier.
I think she is... I think she's above Gwenpool.
Above Jeff, above Cole, Gilgamesh, Hope, Gladiator, Nebula, Annihilus, Ant-Man thing.
Again, like, if I'm trying to build the rest of the discard deck, I have everything else pretty much. I think that's just what did you move her from? Where was she at before that?
She was behind Cole and Jeff. And I've moved Hope above both of them.
I feel like I said that originally. Whatever. I'm down. Yeah, I like that. Who is this? Ravonna. Ravona's a fun card. Above Proxima. Yeah, I don't hate it. She's good. She helps out Mr. Negative in a way that no other card can, so I like it. Red Guardian. Yeah, honestly, I was gonna say bottom of A. I think
there's an argument for bottom of A, but we'll maybe adjust it later when we see it.
I guess maybe with the logic of like what A is as a archetype, or like not archetype, but like as a tier. I definitely think that Red Guardian is top of B.
Yes.
Again, I had a buddy, the same buddy I mentioned before, who, jumping into stuff, I said, hey, if you really want to, I think Red Guardian's a card. If you've got the expertise for it, try to pull for it. He pulled it in like 1, I think, so he was very happy with it. But especially as a newer player, just being able to turn off cards so quickly, because again, at lower collection level, you'll see people playing a lot of Wong stuff. You'll see people playing a lot of like just Iron Man ongoing stuff, and Red Guardian just shutting it down entirely is unmatched. It's so good. Yeah. Red Hulk had his day in the sun. I don't think he's that good anymore. I don't think he's that even up there.
He is in B tier.
I think a lot lower in B tier. I honestly think I think he's near Cole and Gilgamesh.
He's bigger. He's right there. I think he's above Cole.
Yeah. There's maybe a world where Jeff is behind him actually, but I definitely like.
Right now, actually, Jeff is behind him right now.
Yeah, it's again with the way Professor X works, and just we don't have anything messing with move in that way. I think that Red Hulk I like him up there inside of. I think he's middle of B tier. He's a good card. But they did a good job of like bringing him down. Although I think Sage goes to above. Yeah, I think Sage is right up there. He's just such a great card.
Right behind Cass, actually.
Yeah, I could see that. I was gonna say that originally. She's just, again, talking about like some of the Mr. Negative decks or even just control stuff. And again, as early players, if you can get Wong at least, it's just insane.
Yeah.
She's just one of the best late game plays. This is
a new Series 4 card.
It is a Series 4 card, true. I think it's D.
It's not D, but it's probably C.
Okay. Where are you thinking?
I'm thinking
right after Nocturne.
Yeah, I'm thinking after Nocturne. Looking at like the way we have the bottom of this laid out, I think it's better than Cannonball, Copycat. I'm gonna put Copycat above Cannonball.
Okay, I like that. Yeah, it got dropped as well, so it's not. I don't think it's bad. It's just not crazy. Sebastian Shaw, again, it's a Series 5 card. I think this is closer to C tier. I'd argue Phoenix Force is more playable than a lot of Sebastian Shaw decks.
Yeah, I think it, but like it's like CA, CB, C1, C2, kind of like.
Yeah. We're doing a lot of that stuff here, but I think it's definitely in C tier, but I think it's toward the top. It's a good card.
Yeah.
It's just narrow in what it does. And that's fine. You can live with that. This is, I think, top of F tier. I think it's the most playable card in the F. Maybe after. I can accept that. Yeah. Celine is. I had someone come into my chat and say that Celine is one of their favorite cards, and they just said Celine is good. I tried to play some games with Celine in order to prove him wrong and won with it. So I'm begrudgingly saying it's higher in the F tier, but it's definitely F tier.
Oh my goodness.
I was very upset that I had one. Is Cersei's B? I think it's fair. Yeah, there's probably gonna be a lot of playable cards there.
But she's better than Annihilus right now.
You're not wrong. I think she's better than Loki. I'd say she's closer to being top of C tier, because I'm looking at those cards like I think Man-Thing, Phoenix Force, Sebastian Shaw are all, maybe not Sebastian Shaw, maybe, but like Phoenix Force, Man-Thing, I'd argue are better than her. Even the Annihilus package can still be better than her. And I think that she wants Annihilus for her decks typically. So I like her closer to the top of C, but not, I don't think she's B, because again, that placement of like where we say B is some cards you want to aim for. I just don't think Cersei is one of those cards.
Well, do you aim for Man-Thing or do you aim for Phoenix Force? Probably Man-Thing. So I think Man-Thing's still solidified B.
Yeah, I think Man-Thing's still solidified B. I was looking through the rest of them. It's again, I think B, when you're aiming for these cards, it's, do you like the archetype or do you want this specific piece? This is not a bad piece to aim for.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of the logic we're going for here in the B tier. What do we got next? It's D, right? I think Nimrod's better than Silk.
But Silk's better than the rest of his stuff.
Yeah, I think Silk's definitely better than the rest of that stuff, but I think Nimrod just does more than what you want Silk to do. Yeah. Oh yeah. Elsa definitely should be higher. Elsa should actually. I think it should go Nimrod, Elsa, Silk.
Okay.
I think that's. Yeah. I didn't realize it was that low. Scar. Yeah. So he just got nerfed because he was so good. I honestly say this is closer. This is. I don't think it's. I think it's right after MODOK. I'd say.
Right after MODOK.
Because again, it's again if I'm talking like there are so many other specific enablers you need for Scar in order to really make it feel great.
Mm-hmm.
And I think right after MODOK is probably a better place for it.
Okay. I like it.
What we got? This is going to Series 3 anyway, so it's worse. Actually, Jean Grey's worse than Snowguard. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, wow. Really great cards in Series 3 that they've given us. Spider-Ham. Again, talking about aiming cards, I think you aim for Spider-Ham after Mobius. I think it's above Hydra Bob Blink package. My logic. You think it's below there? All right. I won't fight that. That's fair. What we got? Super Giant.
It's right above Spider-Ham. Oh no,
Yeah,
right below Spider-Ham, actually.
Yeah, that's better. Also a confusing card. Thanos, I think, is one of the other cards that goes into the S tier.
Yes.
I think he's better. I think he is. I like him more than Arishem.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Arisham's better.
Arishem still is better for like what it brings to the game and everything, as well as Thanos is much harder, I feel like, to learn than Arishem, if we're gonna add that as a thing. Even though Arishem, you have to know how to play a bunch of archetypes, you still have to like know when to play
Arishem's
stones
harder.
and stuff.
Because you have to know how to play every single card in the game potentially.
But you have extra energy to be able to do it.
True. How about we begrudgingly say that it's preference between those two at least?
Sure.
All right, well, I'll accept that, and I'm fine with it showing lower. Living Tribunal, this is a really good card, actually. Again, if we're talking about what you have, the Living Tribunal deck's always been good. I think this is an A. Like Iron Man Onslaught Living Tribunal is just a good combo. I think it's bottom of A.
Bottom of A.
Yeah. It's a lot of those good big payoff cards we have at the top of it in A right now, and I think that really works well, honestly.
Then we go Athena.
Athena, what are you thinking?
She is B, right up below Hitmonkey. And Ghost Spider should be like right above Ravonna.
Yeah, that's fair.
Or no, right below Ravonna, actually. Above
Yeah, No, I like that. I think Athena's a good card. I don't think she's one that you really need to go for. Yeah. Personally, I don't know. I think that I would say that she's fine. She's just not. I think she's better than Proxima, or worse, Proxima. Sorry, I think Proxima should be above her. If I'm saying which ones to aim for, I think I would say if I had if you gave me Ravonna, Athena, Proxima, and asked me which three, what order do I buy these in? Ravonna, Proxima, Athena.
I go Ravonna, Athena, Proxima.
All right. I won't push it.
Because like this, you still have to discard it in order to get value. This, you just have to play 2 cards. This, you're not tempoing this out. If you are, you're in a very bad spot.
Yeah, that's true. I think it's easy to discard, but that's fair enough. What we got? US. This is a good card. This is just a really good card. Yeah, I like it there. Yeah, US Agent's he is such a great card. I liked him when he was still a -3 on other cards, but he got buffed to -4.
Yeah,
putting him right after Scar, I think works, and then right above. Yeah, I really like that. He's just tech cards have different weight, and there's maybe some better tech cards than others. I don't know. I like this though. That's good. Valentina, we're seeing her used more and more. Yeah, what are you thinking?
I like her more than Spider-Ham because the way she did just get buffed recently, so your 6-drop isn't -3, it's -2. The unknown of having a 6-drop you can play on turn 4 is really good.
Mm-hmm.
And you're seeing more high rolls, I feel like, right now than low rolls. Even if you do hit like maybe something not great, Like, I think there's still just a lot of value there.
I think I like her more than Sasquatch, but I do think if I'm talking through, I think Sasquatch, Copycat, Cannonball offer less value than Valentina does.
Okay. I don't hate it.
War Machine though. This is, I think it was good when you had the Storm Legion combo, but I actually think it's dropped. I think you get Phoenix Force before you get War Machine. I think
War Machine is
gone.
Not a C tier card at all. He is not C tier.
I think he has to be a lot lower. I think Hope Summers, I think Jeff. You can start to convince me around the Gilgamesh Gladiator section.
He's better than Cole, and he enables Cole.
All right, that's fair. Should Nebula be this? I don't think Nebula should be as low as she currently is. Do you agree with Nebula actually being there, or do you think that? Because I feel like if I'm looking through these, yeah, at the very minimum, I'm looking through what Nebula is, and seeing her get pushed further. I feel like she's just a really good B tier card.
She is solid.
So I think she's. I would put her probably even above Thena, but if you like her closer to the end, I won't push it too much there.
Yeah, she'll stay there.
All right, Werewolf by Night. God, I love this card, but this is probably. This is just it's such a taxing card.
Is it better than Sasquatch?
I think it's very bottom of C tier. I think Pixie decks are better. I think Namora decks are better. I think Black Swan decks are better. I think it's a good card, but I think it's just barely. If you really want to play it, you can, obviously. Right. And that's why I think it's still in a C tier, but I think Grandmaster is even better. Hello, kitty. White Widow had a very big fall from grace.
She's now D tier.
Yeah, she's good inside of Clog now, and Clog isn't good. So it's no longer everywhere, so I'm fine with it. I think, yeah, she's chill there. X23, this is just a really good card to aim for. I think it's above Moda. Yeah, it's in the top bit of B. I don't know exactly where.
It is Series 4 now. Woohoo!
It is Series 4. You only have to have 3,000 tokens instead of 6K, so much easier.
And it is in Spotlights in December. True.
Is there one more card before we lose the alphabetical order? I think.
Yes.
Okay. Zabu. Zabu, I feel like a lot of people have been uncertain about his new ability, but I think in general it's been better. I think it's better than C. I think it's a lot higher in C. I think you're right. Yeah, right above Hydra Bob, I think. Because again, Hydra Bob is getting a little bit of extra thing because I think he is too strong right now. Mm-hmm. So I think it's safer to say Zabu's better. Okay. I think Zabu's honestly in a pretty good place right now.
Yes, I like Zabu a lot right now.
Yeah, he's fair. And that's the end of our alphabetical stuff. Do we want to take a second try to... Actually, we really shouldn't. We have enough other cards, so we should just keep going.
We're just going to keep going.
Yep. Kate Bishop, Hawkeye. Kate Bishop is honestly close in the A tier for me, honestly. She, again, just provides so much versatility and stuff.
I like her more than Red Guardian.
I can live with top of B. Yeah, I can live... I don't think... If there's a card you think that takes her spot in B tier, she should go to the bottom of A, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm down with that. Marvel Boy. Again, I put him right next to Gilgamesh. Wherever Gilgamesh is, I think he's right there.
Yeah.
He's just, again, right next to Gilgamesh. They're both really good for that specific archetype. But I don't really care exactly which one, where that spot is, but they both do something very similar for that deck. Which, honestly,
I like him
a Zoo deck... That's fair. Zoo decks are also very, again, new player accessible because so many cheap cards. Then you've got the Kazar, you've got the Blue Marvel, so it works out. Yeah. All right. What we got?
Speed's still B. It's a boring B, but like what he does is just consistent.
I think we need to move Phoenix Force to right above him in B.
Okay.
Because I think Phoenix Force is better than him, but if I'm talking about like which cards you want to buy,
Yeah.
I just don't think. Yeah, I think that's there. Wiccan is a. I love this card. Yeah, I love bottom of A. I know there are people who are gonna be that do not like Wiccan.
Yep.
Wiccan is again another archetype card because you have to build your deck around him and you have to make the sacrifices for it. And I think bottom of A is a really good place for it because again, it doesn't mean you can't get it with other decks. And also, you uses Quicksilver and Domino, and I think those are both, again, very easy cards to get. So I like Wiccan right there at the bottom of A, fine above Living Tribunal, whatever. So this is I think it's actually D now. I would argue it's actually D now. I think it's being played a little bit, just enough. I think it's being played more than Beta Ray Bill. That's it. Is that fair? I'm trying to.
I think it's fair. This card's still so bad, but
it's still not. It's not great, but also it is legitimately. It's seeing a lot higher player than I think it deserves. Yeah, I think it's seeing a lot higher player than it even deserves, but it is, I think, D tier. Symbiote Spider-Man. It's definitely there in general. I don't mind it being in the bottom of D tier or in D tier in general. Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah, I don't mind that. Summer Table's still good. She's just not A tier anymore. I think she's just closer to middling in B, I think. Yeah, I don't mind that. I like her right there in between Thena and Proxima. Madam Web. This is honestly if we're talking about movement, it's so good for move.
So good. There could be an argument for her to be even higher in A tier just because of what she can do.
I think Blob should go down to be, honestly, maybe even like, I was going to say it, but I felt crazy. Yeah, I like Blob going to top of B tier. I think Kate should just stay. I think Kate's bottom of A. I think Living Tribunal is going to be. I really like Kate Bishop, and I think she's a great card you should be getting. Actually, no, never mind. Put her back up there. What am I saying? She just offers a lot of versatility, but I also think Living Tribunal is. I think Tribunal should still stay in A though. I would argue that one because again, that is an archetype card that you only need a Tribunal for.
I'm just also thinking now in hindsight, like, how prevalent Red Guardian is, how prevalent US Agent is. This right now is in a really not great spot.
Yeah, I think in general it's okay though. I think it's similar to honestly where Hydra Bob is, right? If we were putting all cards where they were exactly right now, Hydra Bob would probably be all the way up in B. But I think Tribunal in general is still a good archetype, even if it's in a worse spot at the moment.
Probably the worst spot.
I definitely think it's in the worst spot it has been, but I think it's just bottom of A and it doesn't go higher.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that. Aranya's really fun. I think she's closer to top of B. I feel like she's right in between US Agent and Legion. Yeah.
Yep.
She's just going to be really good for that stuff. I'll let you put your boy down.
Yeah.
I'll let you put Scarlet Spider down.
F. You hate to see it.
Mm-hmm. Wow. You even put Dakin as better than him. I won't argue.
Agent Venom is still great. I
don't think it's A.
I think he's top of B though.
I think he is. I put him right after Sage, and I think he's perfect.
Yeah.
Or X23 is maybe still there above him, and that's it.
No, Agent Venom's still better than X23.
Okay. That's fine. Scream is a deck that you can play. I don't even know where do you put Scream?
Scream, she herself, she is B.
Yeah, that's fair. Where in B does she go? Yeah, I like her there after Gladiator. Okay, sure. Misery's a card I've been playing a lot. She is a blast to play in the list that I use her in. I don't think she's again great, but I definitely like her a lot. I think I like her right after Cersei. I think Moby should go to the top of C tier, by the way, looking at those cards. Scorn it's just a great discard card. Yeah, I like that. But do you agree that Mobius should be top of C tier with this stuff, right? I feel like he's just
with everything that's going on right now and stuff too. Yeah.
Yeah, I think in general he's just gonna be pretty solid. I like that. Okay, that's chill. Agony is. I don't think she's bad. I'm seeing her still get played in Sound of Destroy stuff. I think she's top of D.
She's not top of D.
You don't think she's top of D?
No.
She has she's still doing solidly in terms of positivity. Yeah, I like her. Okay, I'll accept that. Maybe not top of D, but right after Elsa. That's fair. Toxin, if you like bounce, Toxin's amazing. Yeah, honestly, I like him as top of C. That's a really good place for him. Yeah. Anti-Venom's a card I think is going to get nerfed, but this is I think he's really good. I think it's a really good card. Maybe it doesn't get nerfed. Maybe it's such a good playable card, but it is a very solid card. Yeah. After USA. It's just so, it gives you something that you've really, like, I don't know, it's good.
Yeah.
It's just a really good card. I agree with that. The B tier is massive, and I think I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I think it's just going to be a large B tier. I think Surtur should be next to Scar.
Scar?
It just, wherever Scar is, it's similar to, I think, to the Gilgamesh Marvel Boy thing.
Yeah.
I think it's just Surtur and Scar good together, and you play them. Like, they said they made Surtur for Scar. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. I think that Frigga, I don't think she's top of C. I think you actually put her Misery low. If you put her above, I think she's above Blink. I'm fine with her low. Yeah, I like that there. Yeah,
actually, no,
I think she's much more.
She is above Blink.
Yeah. Again, Hydra Bob, I think is going to be the actual final version. I think Hydra Bob, whenever he gets tweaked a little bit more, is probably going to change a little bit. But yeah, Malekith is a good card. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, no, he's a really good card. Top of C is probably fair. I think. No, I was about to say, I realized I was looking at the cards right above him, like at Nihilus and stuff. I definitely think, yeah, I like him above. Yeah, no, I like him right there, actually. I don't. Oh, Malekith is probably better. It puts up better stats than the Marvel Boy and probably Gilgamesh. Red Hulk, probably not. Yeah, right there. Yeah, no, that's actually, that's the exact line.
Yeah, literally.
I was trying. No, that's it. So here's the thing. Before we touch, I know you have Fenris Wolf, King Eitri, and Gore next. We want to talk about the recent cards at the end of this yap.
Yes.
Let's save them for then, if possible.
Okay.
And let's go into so this is our current. Can you do a control? Can you make it smaller so that you can see all the tier lists currently? Is that a thing? Oh yeah, so massive. Very large. This is, what was it? I think with the cards that are currently out and we've actually played a good chunk with, I think this is a really good place to exist at. We're going to talk about the cards coming out in December and January as well. This is obviously speculative, and we're going to get to a little bit of a question of gray areas there and how exactly it's going to work and where we feel it's going to be. So this is a lot more feeling based than everything else. But it also can give you y'all good ideas for what you want to be aiming for potentially with your tokens, with your keys, whatever that may be for yourself. And I think that's it's going to be interesting. And also, yes, we know technically, what is it? 2 of these cards are season pass cards. They're going to go down to Series 5. It's same thing.
Yes.
So, Galacta. We haven't even talked about any of these cards yet. So, no. Galacta feels like a really fun card. I'm stoked for her. She makes the card revealed. So it's gonna work with Brood. It's gonna work with, It's gonna be working with Shuri stuff. It's gonna work with. I don't know if it's gonna work before or after Shuri, but it will. It's gonna go. It's an effect similar to Shuri.
Before the card reveals.
So is Shuri. That was my question.
So it should work just like Shuri, but I believe Shuri goes off before Galactic goes off. But we'll have to do some testing with that.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to change a whole lot there, but it's going to be somewhere similar inside of there. I think she's going to go to a place where she is. I would put her near Scream and Gladiator. I think that's where I'm expecting her to land.
And I think you can't play it onto the Galacta location. It has to be a different location.
True, yeah. So if y'all don't know what Galacta's ability is currently, again, these are all data mine cards, so subject to change, yada, yada, yada. She is a 4/6. The first card you play to another location reveals with +3 power, I believe. Which, by the way, I like the fact they say reveals with +3. So I hope that they actually do that stuff with like Shuri reveals with double power or something like that. I really want them to. I like that specification. That's a really good one. Luna Snow's fun. Do you want me to say what Luna Snow's ability, or you want to? Okay. Luna Snow is a 3-cost, again, data mines, 3-cost 5-power card that on reveal add an ice cube to each side of this location, and the ice cube is a 1-cost card with 0 power, I believe. That at the start of each turn, reveal, or was it? At the start of each turn gives you +1 power, and then if the location's full, it destroys itself. So it always gives +1, and then it gets destroyed.
+1 energy.
+1 energy, my apologies, yes. So it's going to be, again, I think she's going to be a very interesting card. It's going to be, she feels like a very fun one, honestly, for like, even, I know I was talking about I don't want Clog to be good. She feels like it should be fun in Clog.
Mm-hmm.
What are you thinking with her?
So, like, it helps you and it helps your opponent. I think you may be playing this more on, like, a turn 4, potentially with Electra, or just some way, or Red Guardian on their shard, so they don't get the extra energy. So it's really interesting. I would say B because you get extra energy, but your opponent does as well, so I'm kind of leaning more towards C.
I think she could be above Shaw. I think above Shaw is a fair place for her. Yeah. Probably. Yeah, I like that. Okay. That's chill. Penny Parker, we had to talk about this recently, and I said something and it actually sparked something. You got excited by this, but so Penny Parker, when she merges with another card, you get +1 energy next turn, and then she also on reveal adds Spider to your hand, her robot spider suit.
So she is an on reveal, add the spider suit to your hand. Whenever the spider suit merges with a card, she gives you
whenever she merges with another card, you get +1 energy.
Like the
spider suit merging with her.
Yes.
But also that counts with Hulkbuster merging with her, with Agony merging with her, probably Symbiote Spider-Man merging. So it's a lot of potential for extra energy, and I really love the idea for a full merging thing. I'm excited by this card a lot. So my excitement versus how good it's actually going to be is going to be a different thing. How do you feel about this card?
So you still have to play a 3-cost after the bot goes into your hand. So it's like essentially a 5/6, but you get the extra energy, and I think that's gonna be great. The bot also, once it merges, you can move that card next turn, which is really good.
The bot is a 3/3. Yeah, you're right.
So I think this is gonna be a very fun card to be able to do some. Even just like, I'm thinking Phoenix Force, of course, immediately, and of course getting the extra energy and stuff too. I'm thinking this is going to be a fun and solid card to mess around with. Even like with some Hope Summers synergy and stuff too, it could be really cool. I think there's potential for this to be a B tier card as well. I probably put it right above Cole Obsidian.
Above Cole? I think above Marvel Boy, but yes. I think it's just, but it's gonna be a really fun card. I think it's gonna be a really good card, but I definitely, it's gonna be something closer to that. I like it. No, she's gonna be a really fun card. I'm absolutely stoked for her. But then the next one that we're gonna be having come out is the one I mentioned earlier, Bruce Banner.
Yeah, the Bruce. So like, but going back to Penny, her text is very interesting. It says add spider to your hand, merge this. When this merges, you get +1 energy next turn. And I'm thinking that it actually refers to the spider bot merging with something opposed to Penny Parker getting merged with, is the way I'm reading it.
I think that text would be on the spider bot if it worked that way. However, when in the past abilities have referred to this, it refers to itself. If we look at Kang, for example, Kang says start your next turn or restart the turn without this in hand. So again, the card, whenever it says this, it typically refers to itself as a card.
I'll need to see the video to fully agree with you.
Yeah, we'll have to see there, but I do believe it is. I think this is itself, and the only ability that the bot adds is the moving once. But still, so I was actually incorrect when I said Bruce Banner. Wait a second on that one, because Doctor Doom 2099 is the next one that is data mined. So that one's gonna be the 17th in December. This is a really fun card, right? After each turn, you add a Doombot 2099 to a random location if you played exactly one card, so kind of similar to how what is it, Thena works. But then as a 4/2, then the Doom bots are also 4/2, but then they say your Doctor, what is it? Ongoing, your other Doom bots and Doom have +1 power. And it's hoped and believed that that works with base 6/5 Doctor Doom.
Yes.
If so, I think this is gonna be, I think it's gonna go above Ghost Spider. I think this is just gonna be Doctor Doom archetype is gonna be sick. I actually really like that idea.
I'd put above Aranya and stuff. That's the value you add to total board space and like total board power.
Yeah. So it's gonna be really fun. Again, data mines, don't know, but I hope, and it sounds sick. That what is it? I'm saying what card I'm really excited about is obviously Penny, but like Doom, I think is just gonna be. I love the fact that Doom's an archetype. That seems so cool.
Doom is gonna be really cool.
And then speaking of high evolutionary, like love, Bruce Banner, a 2/1, and again, there's obviously speculations. It's data mines. He is a 2/1 that says when you end a turn with unspent energy, you have a 25% chance to Hulk out, and that is assumed and guessing that he just turns into the 6/12 Hulk that we know and love. So, what are you thinking on Bruce?
I think it's C tier.
You think C? I think it's going to be a great card. I won't complain if you think he's going to be C tier. He's going to be. I think he's going to be sick. I think this card, especially
fun.
with. Yeah, I think it's going to be a really fun card. Obviously, there's going to be the people who have the worst luck in the world and they end every single turn with extra energy and he just never changes because it's a 25% chance. It's not accumulative. It's not if you spend 4 turns, it's guaranteed. But yeah, that's a very fun one. I think. Yeah, honestly, probably above below Spider-Ham and above Supergiant. No, I think that's fair. All right, we'll keep going. Rocket and Groot, you can move this once. After your opponent plays a card here, you get to steal 1 power from their card that they play there. This is just sick. I think this is going to be it's just going to be a great card.
Yeah, I think it's still C. I think it's like, and C is not a bad tier is what we're saying. Like these are still genuinely like good cards. They're just not like.
I think it's above
cards.
Cersei.
No.
I think this is going to be one of the best. I think it's going to be a really good card.
I think above Luna, but not above Cersei or Misery.
Fair. It gives you just so much control over the board, and I really like that stuff.
Oh, cat's going crazy.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, that's all good. And those are all the data mine cards for December. And again, obviously speculation stuff. Speculating on January cards because season pass card of Iron Patriot. This card's gonna be insane. I love the idea of this card. I think it's super cool. Iron Patriot is a 2-cost 3 power card that says on reveal, add a random 4, 5, or 6 cost card to your hand, and if you're winning here, this location after next turn, you give it -4 cost to that card. So, I think this is gonna go straight up to B tier, like very high B. I think this is gonna be good.
The ceiling is very, very high on this card. I put it above.
To be fair, it does have a low floor. It is a random 4-cost card. I think it's above. I think it's above Hope. I don't know if it's above Gwenpool, but I think it's. I don't know.
I think still with the unknown factor, I like it more than Jeff, War Machine, and the rest of B tier. And of course, you have to be winning the location going into the next turn. But like, still, your opponent has to play a card pretty much onto your Iron Patriot lane for you not to be winning that location.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, you kind of force your opponent into a place, which honestly gets me really stoked about trying to use Rocket and Groot. But yeah, and so then alongside Iron Patriot, Victoria Hand is going to be added. Victoria Hand is an ongoing card. Your cards created in your hand have +2 power, and it's specifically worded that way so it doesn't work with Loki, doesn't work with Thanos, doesn't work with Airshim. And I think it's sick as hell. Give some Devil Dino love. I'm hoping this card is good. I really want this card to be good.
I think it's going to be a good card, but I still think it's C tier, even though like with the ability and stuff.
I'm gonna hope you're wrong, but I'm going to probably agree. I think.
And it's the.
I want that. Yeah, I honestly think I like that. Yeah, I think it's very similar to Frigga. It's a situation where I want it to be I want it to be really cool. I want it to be really good. I just don't know if it will be.
Yeah.
We then have after that we then have Bullseye,
Mm-hmm.
who's been in the files for a while, but he finally has an ability, a sick ability. So hear me out. He is a 4-cost 5-power card that has an activatable ability. Discard all cards that cost 1 or less from your hand. Afflict that many different enemy cards with -2 power. I am so stoked about this card. It's gonna, again, similar to the way I think it's gonna go close to Phoenix Force. My reasoning being
Activate
is because not even activate. Phoenix Force merged Move and Destroy together when that got added. Everyone was shocked and hated the idea, but now it's an actual thing. I think Bullseye is going to do something similar where it's merging the Affliction and Discard archetypes.
Yeah.
So I don't like. I think there's so many different places this card go. It could go so much higher, so much lower.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that, but putting it close to what Phoenix Force is makes sense to me because again, it's the merging of archetypes in a very similar way.
No, I like it, and I think the Ajax value is actually really good there too.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. And I think isn't it? What is it? And that's different. So each one of those cards is different. So that could be if you have a full hand of swarms. Let's imagine, because you could have like emptied your hand before, and then you've played your Modok with onto your hand full of swarms, and that just that's gonna be fun.
Docking value.
Yeah, I hope. Moonstone. Ongoing has the ongoing effects of your 1, 2, and 3 cost cards here. So she gets to, she basically is similar to Super Scroll.
Yeah.
For cheap cards.
Yes.
Mystique's gonna be insane.
Mm-hmm. Ant-Man's gonna be incredible too. Mojo, like the whole entire Spectrum package.
No, the Spectrum package is gonna be sick. I also think there's gonna be some really fun stuff there with
Madam Web.
You just like Quinjet. I was gonna say Quinjet, and also using like Quinjet Victoria Hand.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really fun area as well to exist. So I think the card's gonna be good. I don't. How good do you think Moonstone's gonna be? Where do you think she's gonna go?
I think Moonstone is like pretty decent in C tier actually though. Like I think she has value, especially like with the Mystique and stuff, to be able to kind of just throw that onto the lane itself. Could give you some Sarah value and stuff too, like with some of those ongoing cards.
Sure.
But I think I probably still have her in C tier, but above Bruce Cannonball, maybe like right below Copycat.
I don't think I'd argue with that too much. Yeah, that seems fair. Again, speculative, so I don't mind it. And then Ares is gonna. I'm so stoked. So Ares, how he works, he's an on reveal. Compare the power of the top 3 cards of both decks. If your total is higher, he gets +6 power. And that, based off, again, data mines, we've seen the animation. It will show you and your opponent the total power of the top 3 cards. It does not show you and your opponent the top 3 cards. It shows you both the total power.
Yep.
So with that logic, it also gives some fun idea for like what's going on in your deck. This is going to be a sick card, I think.
Yeah, I think.
I don't know if it's going to be broken, but I definitely think it's in B tier. In the top half of B, I think.
Yes, I put it probably above Sable.
I think it's above Thena as well, but I'd agree. Other than that, I'd agree.
Could do above Thena. I'm here for it. It's also another Scar card, potentially.
Yeah, true. Yeah, so it does that. Yeah, and those are all the data mine cards as of now. What is it? And again, speculation. I like that stuff though. I think this is gonna be really fun. I think there's just a lot of really exciting stuff coming out in Snap. But before we really call this tier list complete, do you want to look at the recent cards and then kind of say what we think about these guys as we put them inside of this list as well? Kind of merge our last 2 sections together a bit.
Yeah, let's look at how they all look overall together. Let's see. Boom. So looking at just like the untapped stats for these cards as I pull it up over here. We'll start with Fenris and see how we feel about that. What do we want to do for the criteria for this one?
I don't know. I have no idea, honestly.
Let's do since last patch. Do you want to do top infinite?
Yeah, let's just go top infinite. That's
top
fine.
50% or top 10%?
50%, I think, is going to be fair enough.
Okay.
I think.
We'll go Fenris.
What is it? But I think in general with these cards, I think King Eitri is one that I've played a little bit. I'll say, as I've been playing it in Thanos, it feels so good in Thanos. It's just another stone draw consistently.
Mm-hmm.
And that's felt amazing just on its own right there with King Eitri. Fenris Wolf, though, to actually go in order of the cards getting released, I don't know. I haven't been excited by it that much. I feel like a lot of people are it was going to be the whole thing, and I probably overhyped it as well. But when looking at it more and more, I just don't think it's actually that great.
It's okay for what it does, and I think this card was definitely overhyped, and we talked about this. I think this card, like, people are like, oh, this card's gonna be amazing, and I mean, what it does is cool. I mean, getting to like resurrect one of your cards that your opponent discarded or destroyed, but Hell is not really relevant right now, and this definitely, vibes out when Hell is really relevant. Yes, you can also get some gore value with some Moon Knight stuff, but like the most finite detail about this card is the card it revives goes off of its base power. And since Gore's base power is -1, it does not revive the Gore unless the Gore is the only thing discarded by your opponent. If Shang-Chi a Null does not revive. It's the Venom or whatever was just destroyed that had the most power in that sense. So that's something I found out doing some testing, which, like, if it did revive those other ongoing cards, I think that definitely would have been better for Fenris itself. But, like, this is not a bad card. It's just oh, I know this is on the board now. You're going to be either Moon Knighting me or you have Shang-Chi in your hand.
Yeah, I think it's just it's one you can easily prepare for as well. So I don't think it's great. I don't think it's bad. I think it's gonna be an okay card. I think if we talk about as well, like, where we actually think it should be going, I think this is probably a C.
Yeah.
I think we're looking over at the tier list. Where do you think it goes inside of C?
In C tier, I think it goes probably above Spider-Ham. And maybe below Cannonball.
I think Spider-Ham's better. I think Spider-Ham's better. I'd say it's above Bruce.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, I think Spider-Ham just offers more utility there. So, no, that's fair. But King Eitri. Now, have you gotten King Eitri yet?
I have King Eitri, but I haven't played him yet. I'm not really like, oh, yay, I have to play King Eitri. It was more of like an instance of like, I am trying to stay Series 4, Series 5 complete, so I'm playing the Diner to get this card. And now I'm like, well, I'm actually kind of glad I don't have a Diner variant for King Eitri, because I don't know if I would ever play this card. I mean, there's definitely, if I want to play Thor stuff, sure, or Thanos stuff, yeah, maybe Airshim, but I never play Airshim. But it's like,
I don't think you want an Airshim. It just gives you a random one of your random cards. It's literally just give me a random card. That's it.
Yeah. It's like, okay.
So I feel like King Eitri is fine. I think he's gonna. I think it's gonna be I think it's okay. I think it does what you want it to do inside of the packages that you want it to run in. I don't think it's going to change those decks entirely.
Yeah.
But it is. I think it's. Again, honestly, I think it's really similar to Fenris. I think it is good at making those types of decks slightly more consistent. Like I said earlier, I liked it really in Thanos that I played it with it a little bit. And I think, in general, I just don't think it's a bad card in the slightest. I just don't think it's good. I think this could probably be, if we talk about where we place it, I honestly think it could be close. It's either bottom of C or top of D.
I probably put it above Agony in D.
Yeah, I like that. No, I like that. That's a fair place, yeah. It's a fine card. If you're missing it, again, if you're grinding out through Devil's Diner, cool. You can play some Thor decks. You can play some, again, I mentioned Thanos earlier. I think you can do it in a couple of those specific shells. But it's, unless we get more cards that add other cards to your deck that you want. Yeah. Until that occurs, I just think it's going to be it's a very narrow card. But in that very narrow slot, I think it does a good job for what it's meant to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And lastly, we got Zagor.
Yeah, so when we're recording this, Gore hasn't even been out 2 days. So there's gonna be some grains of salt here. I will say this before anything else happens. I think negative is going to be a fun spot for it. I don't think it's the best spot for it.
Yeah, I think negative also, you're just not as consistent. I think this is
That's-
literally just a 6-drop. You can play this in just about anything. Like, this card is very flexible and it is very good. You just think about how many people just throw on reveals down anyways. Like, you play 4, your opponent plays 4, that's 16 power right there to Gore. Gore becomes a 6/15. Just like that. And because he's ongoing, Ravona also works with Gore, so you can play Gore on 5 if you wanted to, and then do Mystique stuff. Like,
Yeah, Mystique stuff is really good there as well. Yeah, in general, I think Gore's a good card.
yeah.
I definitely think he's good. I think this is going to be B tier card when we're talking about this. But I think that the best types of lists, honestly, I think the what is it, like Pixie that you did some stuff with. I think Pixie stuff is really good with Gore. Or again, you really want the Ravona stuff, maybe like an Agent Venom style list, maybe with Gore. I think those are going to be better than anything we can see with. Again, negative is just too dang inconsistent, in my opinion. It's fun, it's just not consistent.
Gore right now is actually A tier, though.
Yeah, but I'm talking
Gore-
about what people want to buy.
No,
It-
Gore
people
Gore
are-
is a must-have.
I disagree entirely.
Gore is entirely a must-have. He is way better than Tribunal, even. I think he's better than Tribunal and way more relevant in the meta, way more relevant in the future of the meta. Gore is going to be that card. He is the OG Blob must-have, or Blob
I will
is not there
concede
right now.
putting Gore and Tribunal at the top of B tier.
No, Gore is not B tier.
I think I don't think Gore is as good, as useful as any of. I feel like it fits perfectly into the lower section of B.
No,
Where it does something
Gore
similar.
is A tier, and he's going to be dominating the meta for at least the next 2 weeks, at least.
All right, what is it? If Gore is all right, I'm gonna make this bet with you live then. How about this? If Gore is what is it? If Gore is going to be dominating the meta for the next 2 weeks, like I'll even give you just next 2 weeks. Do you want to go with
2 weeks.
first yap of the new year? So, I don't know. One of us has to wear something incredibly dumb.
Incredibly dumb.
We'll have to figure out. Like, I mean, it's either a filter or something like that. Someone's camera is gonna look dumb. Someone's gonna look dumb as hell in the new year.
Okay.
All right, deal. All right, what are we saying? What are we saying in terms of just dominating the meta? Do we want to use stats on that, or is it just arbitrary and we decide?
I think anything from a 52 to a 4% win rate is really solid, especially if we're looking at top
You say
infinite.
52 to 4%.
To
So
54,
a 4% win.
52 to 54%.
I think you said it was a 4% win
No.
rate was great.
No.
Okay, what is it? Yeah, so 54% for just a win rate. As if he has positive, I'm gonna argue that he needs to have a above 10% meta share popularity.
Above 10%.
I think 10% if you're gonna say that he's gonna be dominating the meta.
Okay.
Is that fair?
10%, sure.
So we're saying if it's what is it? If it is above 52% and above 10%, let's go 8%. I'll give you 8%. How about that?
I'll go
Because I feel like 10% is actually a little bit high. 52% and 8%. We'll say that, and then if it's below those, I lose.
Okay.
Or no, below those I win. Right?
Yeah, below this you win.
Heads I win, tails you lose.
Sure.
Overall, I like this tier list. You zoom out one last time for this thing?
And let us know down below what you guys would change also in the tier list. Tribunal
Yeah.
and A tier I think is a scam, but
I think Gore is as well. So we're gonna have to just argue there. I really like our S tier. I will say, we're talking about the best cards to get in terms of like higher tier cards. I think that's just it's like those cards are really good there, and I think it's fine. Those are so narrow there. But that's there's a really high bell curve of cards inside of just B tier and C tier in general. I like that. That's something I didn't expect actually. I thought we'd have a lot more cards that were maybe closer to broken, but no, I'm excited. And obviously there's some speculation here, but yeah, this was a fun tier list. It was the whole yap pretty much today. We knew that going into this, but it was a lot of fun.
yeah, we freaking had a blast doing it. There's a long session, but what else we got left? What we got going on, Dance?
I'm just gonna do both of our plugs just because we don't have a lot of time today. Follow Tucker, follow myself on all the platforms: Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, etc. Subscribe, like, and comment. Boom. You just hit it. We've gone a while. We're good.
Hopefully you guys have had a great Thanksgiving. I hope you guys have a great weekend as well, because this Yap is going live on a Friday opposed to a Tuesday. But we'll be having a regular scheduled Yap for Tuesday next week as well.
True. Hope you all have a great time moving into the holiday season. And we'll see y'all talking about the upcoming rival season just a little bit.
All right. Laters.